Yeah, the dog farted.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy, brought to you by the Gonna Geek Network. Bringing you the latest nerdy news and geekdom, here are the hosts of the show. Anthony.
No pants, all bacon and dick butts.
Naki.
Don't be jealous that my robot penis is bigger than your robot penis.
Chris.
So when Chris doesn't know how to transition to a new topic because he's flustered, he just hits the button on the soundboard.
And sometimes some special guests.
This makes Burt Reynolds blush. As Magneto once said, "Ha ha ha, welcome to die."
If you're a kid and listening, you rock and your parents are awful.
A brand new ATGN starts in 3, 2, 1.
That's right, we're back with episode 185 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. But before we get to the show, there's really important news that has to take place. Naki, we hear you have a new Tim Tom story for us.
I do have a new Tim Tam story for you.
Yes!
I wasn't sure if you were talking about my dog farting, like, right as the intro started, and I was just like, bleh.
So the good thing is, I edit out the intro we play on YouTube and cut in the better, higher quality one, so nobody will know your dog farted. And
That's
except
good.
for the fact you just told us your dog farted. So,
And I
sorry.
gagged a little. If somebody, I will give the person like $10 trillion if they figure out how to make dog farts not so heinous. Anyways, so as somebody who sleeps with a dog every night, it gets really rough. So Tim Tom made his reappearance, as he does like every few months or so, because we keep kicking him out.
So he was unkicked out again?
He was unkicked out again, so he got a whole weekend, and then one day. So he had 3 whole days with Tim Tom.
And
Because
in
it's
3
great.
whole days, he screwed up.
Well, yeah, that's all.
Oh, this
that's
is
all.
fantastic.
So day 1 was Saturday, and Tim Tom decided so the way that the room is set up is the video game room is like half walled, so that like the little kids can't go in there, but like the older kids can, and they just have to open the door, whatever. So usually when Tim Tom goes in the video game room, it's not too bad because he'll just sit there and play the games. But it was a busy day, so Tim Tom had to wait his turn, which Tim Tom doesn't like to do.
Go figure.
I know. So instead of waiting his turn like a good little boy, Tim Tom falcon punched a dude in the side of the head.
Did he scream Falcon Punch at the same time?
No, he just screamed a lot as he did it. I mean, the kid that he punched is 4-year-olds, which was the minimum age that you can be to get into the video game room. And then, like, I think he's 7 now. I think he had a birthday. So I think he's 7. And he, like, falcon punched this kid in the side of the head. The kid's screaming for obvious reasons. Tim Tom's screaming because he still doesn't have a remote control in his hand. So we pull him out of the room. And we go to get his mom, because he's actually not with his dad for once. And we're just like...
Yeah, I was going to say it's mom this time, because we're normally hearing Tim Tom dad stories.
Yeah, for some reason, well, we all know why his dad won't do it anymore, because his dad is just like, no, I'm just not going to bring him. We're just done. He's like, but his mom is pretty, like, relentless and, like, keeps trying. So...
One of these days it'll stick and he'll be good, is what she thinks.
Yeah. So we go to get his mom, and his mom's version of punishing Tim Tom is, now, you shouldn't do that. That's not very nice.
Wow.
And we just all sit in silence, like, do you think that works?
So
We're
would it be
beyond the
wrong?
point.
Would it be wrong to tell that kid's mother, "We hate your child"? Would that be wrong?
Yeah, that would probably get me fired.
It wouldn't be wrong. It might be ill-advised at her job, but it wouldn't be wrong.
Touche.
So she takes him out because he won't behave. So on the next day, Sunday, Tim Tom is not allowed in the video game room after Saturday's fiasco. So Sunday, he decides he's going to climb the half wall and walk along it because we won't let him in it. So he's technically not breaking the rule of not going into the room.
So this kid's going to be a lawyer because he finds loopholes.
So we finally get him down, and I think that was almost a tackle from my coworker because she just couldn't take it anymore. She like kind of leapt over the wall and grabbed him and just kind of took him down. And
this is fantastic.
So then he decides we have 2 little snack tables, and he decides he's going to walk on those. And we're like, what the hell is wrong with this kid? So we shove him in the infant room, because no one is in the infant room other than the monitor.
I was going to say, this is a terrible idea if he's in there with the infants, because had he not punched an infant before?
He has, not with us. I don't know if maybe he has...
Maybe it was a smaller child is what it was.
He punches small children. He doesn't punch infants yet. So
First time for everything.
We shove him in the infant room, which gives him, like... We didn't realize that he would be smart enough to open the closet door because it's got, like, locks on it and stuff, but he figured it out. And so all of a sudden brooms are flying into the room, like brooms and one of those push-me vacuums. And we're just, like, staring at it, like, what is happening?
Oh, it's fantastic.
So we go and get the mother again, and we're like, just take him. Just go. You need to leave. The end.
Your child is an asshole.
So Monday comes. Monday is okay. So I'm not actually there for Saturday and Sunday. I just get to watch the video. Monday comes, and she is again with him, and we're just like, and my coworker and I are like, oh dear God, no. This is Mondays are my 12-hour days, so I'm already tired. I don't want to deal with this.
And you have Tim Tom on top of that.
And I've got Tim Tom on top of it. I'm like, okay, fine, bring it on. So, Tim Tom, we're relatively quiet in the video game room, so we shush him in there, and we're like, play the video games. And things are actually quiet for about 10 minutes, and all of a sudden, I hear this blood-curdling scream. Like, my whole back just, like, lynched up, and, like, every hair on my body stood straight up. And I was just like, what is happening? What is happening that this scream is occurring? And I walk into the room, and Tim Tom is the one doing the screaming at the top of his lungs as this other little boy, who I want to say is about 5, is punching him in the stomach repeatedly. And I'm just like, what is happening? So I pull out the little boy. I'm like, why are you punching him? And he looks at me and goes, that boy punched my little brother the other day, and I don't like him.
So Tim Tom finally got some.
And so I just left him in there.
So hold on a second. You're saying Tim Tom got his ass beat just like Ronda Rousey did?
Oh,
yes.
damn.
Oh.
I was just trying to twist that knife on you, Anthony.
Damn.
What knife? I don't feel a knife. That was a good fucking fight.
Yeah, it was. But sorry to interrupt your story. I was going to take my shot when I had the chance, Naki.
No, I understand. So I thought things were going to be okay. Like, oh, look, Tim Tom got beat up, and this is the thing that needed to happen, and maybe now he'll be a good boy. Except I was totally wrong, because Tim Tom then took the controller that he was playing with and threw it at the TV screen and broke it.
It's because you interrupted the beatdown. You should have let the older brother finish the ass whooping, and then when Tim Tom woke up in the hospital, he would have realized how badly he got beat. Then maybe he would have become a better person.
It reminds me just like the end of Mallrats, when they're taking Ben Affleck away, and Brody comes up, tries to punch him. Whoa.
You can't get a guy in custody.
It's like, come on, guys, just once. It's like, all right, just once.
So
I had missed these Tim Tom stories.
Tim Tom is again banned from the room for another 3 months. 3 months, we'll check in.
You are banned, sir.
So
Or until you see him back on the street.
This week's episode title now is Tim Tom banned again.
And
You know, if we were ever to make like a Wikipedia of ATGN, I think one of our main titles would be the Tim Tom story.
That's because the Tim Tom stories are quite honestly one of our most entertaining things, because small children doing dumb and hilarious things entertains me.
And violent things.
Okay, and violent too.
Violent.
So violent.
I'm going to miss the day when Tim Tom gets permabanned.
Sociopath.
We can't permaban. That's the problem. Is that we can't really permaban people. So
then that's a bad business model.
So these Tim Tom stories will only cease to exist when Naki stops working there.
Apparently.
Unless you run into him in the supermarket again, though. Because remember, we had a supermarket Tim Tom story.
Oh, that's right. It was at the. I ran into him once at the supermarket and once at the zoo.
Well, even if she stops working there, she can just send boyfriend to go check in on Tim Tom.
Well,
why would you wish that on anyone?
Because it would be funny.
I don't wish that on boyfriend. I don't wish that even on you, Anthony, my worst enemy. Because we're wishing that on him.
Enemy.
But we actually do have one more thing we need to talk about before we hit the news of the week.
Well, actually, we got to do the
You mean
show
before we
intros
start
even.
the show?
Well,
Yeah, we haven't even started the show.
Even before we start the show, is that it's Chris's birthday.
Who?
So we should probably be screaming at him or something because he's old.
As Steven says, Chris Farrell, for real.
I don't know how to say his last name because I've got somebody at work who spells the last name same way as you do, and he says Pharrell.
No,
So
it's Farrell.
Like a cat.
Yeah.
Farrell.
Or like the comedian.
Farrell,
Like a
whatever.
cat.
I prefer like the comedian, but that's just me.
Anyway, it's Chris's birthday, and we can't technically sing Happy Birthday because that's copyrighted music, so that's bullshit.
That's it's to be determined right now. I guess there's a court case going on. It might be no
It's
longer
up in the air
copyrighted,
again.
so I wouldn't sing it just to be safe, and because I also don't want anyone to sing to me.
I've been trying to, so while I was playing Undertale, which in the pre-show I was playing Undertale, and I was swearing a lot at it because I kept fucking up on stupid things. I was trying to write a Chris song. It just turns out so nice though. So I'm I don't know. This isn't gonna work.
God forbid you be nice to me.
I know.
That's only happened twice in the last almost 4 years.
It's been longer. No, we've known each other longer than that though.
Have we really?
Yeah, because I watched Battlestar Galactica 6 years ago.
Oh yeah. Shit. We're old.
Yeah.
You're getting up there.
At least I'm not as old as you.
Oh.
Surrounded by a bunch of damn children.
And I'm the youngest. Yay.
Shut up, Willie. You took that
You
call away
just
from me.
look like the oldest.
Finally, someone looks older than me.
That's all right. I'll be the Betty White of this group. I'll be the oldest one that looks the youngest. I got no problem with that.
Whoa.
Excuse me. As somebody who still gets mistaken as a 22-year-old, fuck your face.
If I shave this scruff off, I can still walk into a high school.
That didn't sound creepy at all, did it?
Did not get questioned.
Yeah, that only sounds slightly creepy, Anthony. So have fun going to jail.
I'll never get caught. Resource officers are a joke.
Going for those meddling kids.
That's
even
right.
worse. So, on that note, welcome everyone to episode 185 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, recorded live on Sunday, November 15th, 2015. You've got the full crew here. You've got one Naki.
I'm one of Naki's.
You've got the other Anthony Bachman.
That's right.
You've got me, Chris, and special guest who has now taken the record for most consecutive appearances in a row, Willie Nelson. And no, not that Willie Nelson.
Did that just happen this episode?
I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
we finally
You
have
crushed
overtaken Ryan.
Doomrich. Crushed!
The problem is that Ryan works on Sundays now. So-
I don't want to hear his excuses.
It's true, he does work on
I
Sundays.
have a job. Bullshit.
We all have a job.
How'd that go again?
Nope, not doing it again.
Shit.
You can still catch it. It's okay.
I'll just replay it on YouTube later and make an animated GIF.
There you go.
Probably not. though, 'cause I'm
Wouldn't
lazy.
be my first one from this show.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, you've had multiple? I think I've only had one.
I do.
No, it would make it multiple. So my first one was the blue steel stare.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I think my gift was boobs, and it's always boobs.
It probably was. I
Of
don't
course.
remember.
Everybody loves boobs.
I do.
You know, there's a study going around saying that women are never actually straight, but always either gay or bi of some sort. I could see it.
I believe it. You know why? Because boobs are awesome. That's how powerful boobs are.
Boobs are milk bags. It's
Everybody
just,
wants them.
It's just
Nope.
it's one of those things where I find women very attractive, but I been in a relationship with one and she set fire to my shed, so that was enough for me to be like, I don't want to be in a relationship.
Was there anything in the shed where, like,
What was the shed a metaphor for?
She was a crazy bitch.
She set fire to my shed.
she
was the roof on fire?
The roof was on fire. There was lots
Wasn't
of
Mother
fire.
Bride.
No, I've actually dated multiple women, but the one that I actually had kind of a serious relationship with did end in my shed being on fire. So
That's fantastic.
Wow. I don't think anybody's ever set anything on fire
yeah,
with me before.
Yeah, but they did take your money.
I got shot.
Yeah,
Okay,
money
so-
I can get back.
I
If
would
shit
rather
gets burned up, you're fucked.
I would rather have my shed burned down, I think, because I have insurance for that.
See, the thing is that like I've just
True.
had like the physical abuse because I've like gotten shot. I've had my shed burned down. I've been stabbed. Like it's just like.
Yeah, see, now I would take, I would take all of that over 30 grand. You can shoot me, stab me, and set my fucking roof on fire. Just give me my $30,000 back, you bitch.
I'm just hoping that if boyfriend doesn't have any plans of like murdering me anytime soon. That's the last step at this point. Like, what else could possibly
Yeah,
happen?
I hope
Someone's
not
gonna
too,
kill you next.
because I don't want to have to.
Anniversary!
I don't want to have to replace another co-host on this show, so I hope he doesn't kill you either.
No problem, Chris.
No murders, boyfriend. No murdering. You can cripple her. No murdering.
I thought I was supposed to be the new Naki.
That's
You
true.
don't have enough hair on the top of your head.
I could just shave and glue.
There you
Need
go.
a lot more boobage.
Or just shave your chest hair off and glue it.
As
There we go.
As the resident boob and clam provider, I feel like
Oh hell!
There's your segment right there to take out of this episode, Chris. Boob and clam provider.
Hold on a second. I got a call from the FCC.
Yeah, tell him to go eat a dick. Because the internet is unregulated.
There's a reason we're marked explicit in iTunes, kids, and this is
Damn
why.
right. Fuck the FCC.
that's not even bad for me. Come on now.
Nope, that was just good. That was funny. Boob and clam provider. For all your
you gotta
boob and
step up.
clam needs.
And how that was gonna finish as Willie needs to step up his game with his boob and clam providing.
So
I'll push in, tuck in, and we'll be good.
yeah, so here's one of those moments where I get flustered and decide I'm going to play the bump and we're going to move on. So let's go on to the news of the week.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet. It's the news of the week.
It's happy birthday to Chris. I can't segue for L.
No, that
Oh,
was
God.
that was me. Naki, are you about to vomit? Well,
Oh, I
Naki,
think she muted herself.
Naki
she's
might be
puking.
dying right now. So let me tell you, we're going to roll into the news of the week. This is where we tell you what we think is the most important stuff you need to know this week, or just what we think is cool and want to share with you guys. I was going to toss to Naki to go first. But
I'm
since
not dead.
So, Naki,
Hey,
since you're not
she's
dead, I'm going to toss this over to our resident boob and clam provider to give us her news of the week.
That's the
First
segue.
off, goddamn dog ate pepperoni or something. Good God.
Does it smell spicy over there?
It smells spicy and awful. It's terrible. I'm in an enclosed room. The window's not open. It's awful. Everything is dying.
One more reason to not have a pet.
I love my dog. I really do. I love my German Shepherd, but holy shit, the dog farts are awful. Okay.
Oh, dear Lord.
Didn't you miss me last week? Dear God.
We were
Pulling
missing
everything off the rails.
well, Naki, last week we were missing our requisite boob and clams.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Boobs and clam.
The boob and clam providing was.
Yeah, so
It was a
we're
little
at your
sausage
back.
heavy last week.
Hence the reason why it was called Sausage Fest.
It's not a real
And it
jambalaya
tasted
with it.
delicious.
And I'm going to guess Naki didn't listen to the show, considering we sprinkled in stuff to get remarks from her and have gotten nothing yet.
Yeah.
I told you she wouldn't listen.
You fell into our trap.
I'm the worst at listening. I listen unless I actually did listen to Chris's Nerd Alert first episode right away. But everything else is on
I'm
a
sorry.
Yeah, Naki, you should probably go back and listen to last week's episode.
I'll listen to that.
I don't even remember what we did. I just remember we laid a couple traps and at the end of the show said, now we'll see if Naki listens.
It was
Yeah,
like 3
I
or
mean,
4.
I
Like,
must
there
have-
was a bunch.
I think she's gonna hate me if she does, so don't do it.
Do it! Do it!
Shit.
Do it!
No, Willie, I already know you love SP more than you love me. I got it. It's fine.
That is unrelated.
So was that your news that he loves SP more than you?
No, my
There you
news
go.
is actually like it's nice news. The Finding Dory trailer was released, which I'm really excited for. I love Finding Nemo. I actually watched the shit out of that movie. I don't know why, out of all the Pixar movies, I love that one so much. I don't know what it is specifically about that one. But I did watch that quite a bit. And so when the Finding Dory trailer was released, I got really excited. The lack of reaction from my co-hosts here makes me feel like they don't care nearly as much as I do. But I love Ellen DeGeneres, and she is Dory to me. So I mean, like, her physically is Dory. So
I was trying to remember. She's the one that plays the mentally deficient fish, right?
yes, Dory is the one with short-term memory loss. So the entire movie of Finding Nemo, she calls him things like Fabio and Marlin. No, Marlin's the dad's name. She calls him all sorts of names, but my favorite was, "You mean Fabio? Nemo. Yeah, that one."
So here's why I didn't really react, and I fessed up to this on Nerd Alert News, because I have never actually seen Finding Nemo. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
I've seen it once. It was okay.
I've never seen it either.
I don't understand why some people go gaga for it, but there's lots of Pixar movies that just, don't hit you quite exactly in the feels, but
Unless
that's
it's
one
Toy
that I know
Story.
has a lot of fans.
Toy Story and Up gets everyone in the feels.
See, I don't understand the fan behind Frozen, because I thought of the princesses that Pixar has done, I thought Brave and Tangled were way better.
Well, so Naki, I think part of the reason why you might not enjoy that one is you've probably had to see it about 4 bajillion times in the kids' room.
Also, yes. I mean, I've seen that movie, like, I could recite the entire movie to you if you so wanted
You
me
could
to.
do it line by
thank
line.
you.
But the thing is that, like, even after I saw it in the theater, like, prior to me having to watch it 5 gajillion times, I didn't understand the hype behind it. Like, I was just kind of like, okay, it was cute. It was, the first time it was cute. And the song is kind of catchy, and okay, I get it, but I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Like, for me, Finding Nemo, I enjoyed so much just because not only was it very pretty, it's a very pretty movie. It was just, it had a nice story. It was a father-son story. I always like those type of things. And it wasn't a feels train so much as, like, Up. It was that nice balance of feels train and funny type thing. It wasn't, like, Up was complete feels train, Toy Story 3 all feels train. This had more of a humor to it, and it was less, I'm going to cry the entire movie. So, I enjoy humor. And less feels. So that's what that's what Finding Nemo had to me over the other ones. Whereas, like, Brave even had, like, a feels part, because that's a mother-daughter story.
So, did they say when Finding Dory's supposed to drop?
I
don't
believe
remember.
it's summer 2016.
Okay, so it's coming up. That makes sense there'd be a trailer then. And the
Yeah.
reason I brought that up is I wanted to talk about a couple trailers myself. It has now been confirmed 2 trailers of note will be attached to Star Wars The Force Awakens. Anyone have any clues which ones I'm talking about?
Is it the one
Yeah.
with stuff in the things?
The stuff and the things, yes. They have said Captain America Civil War will be debuted alongside Star Wars The Force Awakens, which makes perfect sense. They're both Disney properties. The one that kind of surprised some folks, but I understand them doing it, X-Men Apocalypse trailer debuts with Star Wars The Force Awakens as well.
Huh.
So it looks like Marvel and Fox are playing nice again.
Yeah. Oh, nice if just they're putting out the trailer in front of it. That might just be Fox throwing some money at Disney, not necessarily Marvel.
That's true, but those are 2 trailers I'm really excited to see, and it makes sense because they're both superhero flicks. Tie them in there. And I was afraid it was going to be a Batman v Superman attached before Star Wars, and I'm like, no, I'm tired of this one.
I just hope they actually show them my local theater, because the Village, where I've been going to catch all the Marvel first runs on opening day, I keep getting different trailers and everybody talks about are being released nationwide with the films that I'm seeing. So I'm hoping I get those 2.
See, that same thing has happened to me. I have not always gotten the same trailers everyone says is on there nationwide. Like, I missed out on Star Wars with one of the movies I was going to go see, which was probably okay, because I'd seen it about 40 bajillion times on YouTube, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's not the same, yeah, as seen on the big screen. Actually, I'm not sure I've seen the Star Wars trailer on the big screen yet.
Oh,
I don't think
finally
it's been on
have.
any movie that I've seen.
I got to see it on the big screen, and before this movie, I can't even remember what went to go see. Had Batman v Superman and Star Wars, and I shit you not, people started applauding after the Star Wars trailer. I shit you not.
Actually, it might have been on Jurassic World when I saw that. It might have been there.
The hype behind this Star Wars movie is ridiculous, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think they've almost done too many little trailers now. They still tell me nothing, but now you get like the Japanese trailer, the TV spot exclusive to ABC, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this is, but I want more, and it's awesome. But at the same time, I'm going, don't show me too much of this movie. I don't want to know all of this.
All aboard the hype train. Woo woo.
Are you on the hype train now, Naki? Are you on board?
I really tried to not be on the hype train, but
Welcome aboard, friend.
I am. See, but the thing is I'm still not buying stuff. There's stuff I want. I still want like the little BB-8 and stuff like that, but I can't justify spending the money on it yet because as far as I know, we still got a Jar Jar coming.
So the only things I've spent money on for Force Awakens so far is I got a BB-8 Funko Pop because it looked awesome. I got a Captain Phasma one because it looked awesome. And I pre-ordered one of the Kylo Ren Star Wars The Black Series figures because I wanted to hang it on my wall. And that comes in the mail this week. It's the Starkiller based variant, which means it's got snow dust on or something, but it was the only damn way I could find one.
Nice. And I got my Kylo Ren Pop, and I got my...
Oh, I did get a Kylo Ren Pop, too. Sorry.
Smuggler's Bounty coming in the mail, which will have my Chrome Captain Phasma Pop in it. Yes.
So, I see in the chat room also, Boogity Boo had said, saw the Star Wars trailer before Spectre. It was awesome. The entire audience went silent when it started. I could see it.
Nice.
I want to see this new trailer on the big screen. I mean, my 40-inch flat screen is not quite the same as the giant flat screen at the theater. I wish it was. I really do.
No.
I know. Willie, what do you got for us?
For what?
Your news of the week?
Oh, yeah, news.
Willie, what do you got?
You know it's a good show when we put Willie to sleep.
I'm awake.
Willie, I got boobs.
Woo!
Where's the camera?
Where's the camera?
Exactly.
Oh, wait, my camera's broken.
Oh.
It's like this is on purpose or something.
Part of your job as the clam and boob provider is to have an active working camera.
Wait a second, guys. I think I got
this. Chris spit all over himself.
I didn't spit anything.
Wait a second, guys. Just be quiet for a second. I can hear the boobs.
Willie's the boob whisperer. That's what Willie provides.
And Naki's the robot penis whisperer.
This is true.
Penis.
All right. Since I kind of am a PlayStation fanboy, there's. You know what? I'm not. I'll play whatever.
How many times have I heard from Willie Nelson, Chris, you should just get a PS4?
Yeah.
Well, you should.
I'm about to be a PlayStation fanboy next week.
That's my boy. You're my boy, Blue.
It's showing up Tuesday.
But what something else I've been following for a while that they've announced a while back is, well, what used to be called Project Morpheus. Now they renamed it PlayStation VR, which is pretty much the Oculus Rift for PlayStation. And so far they have not set a release date or a price point, but people are speculating that the game No Man's Sky, which looks amazing, will be able to work with PlayStation VR, and that looks amazing. And and that release date is for June 2016 for No Man's Sky, so they think it's going to be kind of coming out right with it. So it'll be like a release date, day and date for one and the other.
Nice.
But I read this article that says they predict that the Oculus Rift and PlayStation VR will actually succeed, but for two different reasons. They say Oculus Rift will succeed because Facebook has more money than anybody and will spend whatever it takes to make that thing succeed. But
Yeah, I can see it.
But PlayStation VR will succeed because well, I mean, Sony doesn't have unlimited money like Facebook, but it's designed. You have to have a PS4 to use it, which means that you pretty much you don't need a high-end PC and everything. You already have your PS4. It works with it. Boom, out of box. You don't have to worry about upgrading your PC or anything.
Well, that's cool.
And like I said, but the price point that's still out, I think people are speculating somewhere between $200 and $300 for it. that's just speculations.
I'm not set on this whole VR thing yet. I think it could be intriguing, but
I'm interested. But they say a good reason why it will succeed because the install base for the VR's PS4 owners, which is probably by the end of the year, will be about 30 million PS4s have been sold.
Right, and I know that Microsoft's made a deal with Oculus Rift / Facebook also, so that for the PC side of things, it comes bundled with like an Xbox controller, and I guess they're making plugins to make it work with the Xbox and things like that as well. So they're throwing the money around to make it happen. I just don't know. I mean, it could be interesting, but I'm not sure I want to strap on a headset to play my video games.
But I think I also saw something, I think at the last E3, where they Microsoft came out with something like kind of like glass. I forget what it's called.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot the name of it
Google
also.
Glass?
Not Google, but it overlays images.
I know
how it
exactly the
works.
product you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
They only had that one video I think I saw where it just made like someone's table into like a Minecraft setting.
Yes, I know exactly what it is, and I'm trying to find it right now.
So
Google
HoloLens.
faster, Chris.
It's Microsoft's HoloLens.
Yep.
Yeah, they were showing a bunch of other uses for that one too. Like, say you need to fix such and such, you call the guy up on Skype, and it overlays their image over top of what you're doing, and then give you directions. It's intriguing. It was very interesting for Minecraft purposes. And Boogity Boo in the chat room also said HoloLens. So thank you everyone for getting me back on track. I forgot. I suck.
But that's something I'm very excited for is PlayStation VR. I've been looking at it for quite a while. There is a video I tried to go read and find it where Jimmy Fallon had it was him and Magic Mike. What's his name?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum was on there, and they had both of them using the PlayStation VR, and it was pretty cool looking.
It's one of those ones I have to see how it works. Maybe because I'm just old and crotchety now. I'm like, I don't need new ways to play my games. I'll just play on the controller.
1 year older.
It doesn't really faze me, man. I've already embraced the fact that I'm old in comparison to this internet generation. Like, what's this old dude doing telling me about video games? I'll be like, back in my day, I had an NES, and they'll be like, what's that? And I'll get sad.
Back in my day, we played with quarters in an arcade.
I got my
did that
NES
too.
right up there. I got my Xbox, NES, PlayStation 1, 64, and PS2 all on the shelf.
I need to get my N64 back out. I got a hankering to play some GoldenEye.
Nice.
That's what I got Keith for anniversary year 1, and I have
Nice.
not been able to top that because I don't know how to top that at this point.
That's kind of hard to top.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh,
Boozy
that game's amazing. That and Banjo and Kazooie, oh man.
That's how you up that, and that's how you make it better. You
God,
get him
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Bad Fur Day for the N64.
So many fun memories with that.
I know, right? So, Anthony, what have you got for your news? I'm sure you got something good for us.
Two things, and it's all basically involving fights. One of my big good nerdy things is I'm nerdy about the UFC and MMA in general. And last night down in Melbourne, Australia, they set the attendance record for the most people to ever watch a UFC event. And Joanna Jędrzejczyk fought Valerie Letourneau for the 115 belt. And Ronda Rousey fought Holly Holmes for the 135 belt. So both of the female belts were on the line. And a lot of people in the world were fucking shocked to wake up this morning to find out that Ronda Rousey is no longer the champ.
I shit you not. I was shocked. I got on Facebook when I woke up, and I see, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. Like, what is everyone talking about? And I went, holy shit, Ronda Rousey lost. And literally someone had captured like the last 30 seconds of the fight and put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I watched it. I'm like, she didn't just lose. She got her ass kicked.
Yeah, she got literally knocked the fuck out. And I mean, big props to Jędrzejczyk. She fought a good fight, and her and Letourneau went 5 rounds, but she kept her belt. And it sadly wasn't a really big deal because of the fact that Holly Holmes and her camp were the first camp to, 1, figure out a way to beat Ronda Rousey, but then 2, actually have an athlete to put that plan into effect. I believe a lot of the fighting camps have had a good idea of how to beat Ronda, but they haven't been able to put a good plan in effect with a fighter that could actually do it. And fucking Holly Holm went in there and picked apart the champ and straight knocked her unconscious with a head kick that actually caught her like low on the base of the skull and in the neck. And when Ronda fell over and hit the mat, she was asleep. Holly Holm lands on her, puts 2 more hammer fists on her face, before Herb Dean can get in between them and separate them, and Rousey doesn't move the whole time other than from being hit. She was asleep.
Yeah, and let's clarify. Let's clarify. We're not bashing Ronda Rousey. It's just it's shocking that she lost.
She's still my favorite female fighter, and I am super stoked because it makes up a big difference because it was a lot of when we talk about hype train. She was 12-0. She had more championship defenses than she had regular MMA fights. So it had just become this huge thing where she was this giant, unstoppable, force of nature, and now she just gets to be a fighter. And so I'm super excited to see Ronda Rousey go back in the gym after a loss and train even harder to come back to take that belt from Holly Holm. So the rematch is going to be fucking epic.
Yeah, the rematch could be really good on that. I mean, I just think everyone was shocked. There was so much hype behind it, and just to come in and be like, holy crap, I can't believe she lost.
Yeah, because it's one of those things. Like I completely assumed Ronda Rousey would tear her apart, but even yesterday on someone's post, I said, Holly Holm always has a chance. She has a puncher's chance. Any two people stepping into a cage, there's always a chance that either one of them could win because you can catch somebody with a punch and get knocked out. It just happens. I honestly didn't believe Holly Holm had a chance in her ass of actually beating Ronda Rousey, and she did, and she beat her well.
I think it was more of a kicker's chance in this one.
Yeah, well, and the crazy thing is Holly Holmes was a professional boxer and then a kickboxer, and she actually, the way Joe Rogan put it, she's really good at hiding her kicks by setting up with punches. To where she'll throw a flurry of punches and then end it with a kick. But because she was afraid of being caught and taken to the ground, her whole training camp, she said in the post-fight interview, that they worked on throwing nothing but head kicks. And so as she hit Ronda went to the ground, and as she stood up, she pushed away and threw a nice high head kick and caught her right in the neck and just knocked her out cold. It was amazing. And the real crazy thing is Vegas took a fucking beating.
I don't doubt it.
Many sports books got hurt because people love to bet on the underdog. And actually, I wrote down the numbers because I lost the website. You had to bet $900 for Ronda to win to make $100. So if you bet $900, you won $1,000.
Wow.
If you bet $100 for Holm to win, you won $600.
That's awesome.
So a lot of people that bet the underdog yesterday made a ton of fucking money. Apparently Vegas got really hurt, and the betting, they said, was upwards of higher than the standard NFL weekend. So there was a lot of money switching hands yesterday. But yeah, I'm excited because it's also another one of those things where a lot of people will say the undefeated thing it's awesome and people want to stay undefeated, and I mean Rousey's idea was to retire undefeated and just be the best in the world. I still believe she is the best fighter in the world. She just wasn't the best last night. I think she'll come back and win, but a lot of people say if you're 9-0, 12-0 like they both were last night, you've never lost and you've never really fought anybody. Now we get to see the Ronda Rousey that will prove that she's a fighter when she goes and trains and comes back for the rematch. Because it's how you a lot of it is how you deal with defeat. Will determine what type of legacy you have as a professional fighter. So yeah, I'm super excited to see it because also she doesn't have to worry about the hype train anymore. She's not undefeated. She's not perfect. She's not immortal. She's a fucking human who I still think is the deadliest woman on the planet. But now she has to beat Holly Holm to prove that.
Well, and I think that hype train, people kind of discount that, but the pressure associated with things behind that, I think that it makes things very much harder. I mean, everyone expected her to win, and that's the nature of fights and things like this. When the unexpected happens, everyone's like, oh my god. And I think you're going to hear that for a few days. And I can't wait to see how she comes back.
And and congrats to Holly Holm. She's 9-0. I mean, she won every major belt in female boxing. I believe she held a belt in the kickboxing organization she was fighting in, and now since coming to the UFC, she's been rolling through chicks. She's a great fighter, and it's one of those ones like her. She's only 9-0. She's only had 9 professional fights. Like she's fucking tearing through people, but she's learning by leaps and bounds with each fight. Because honestly, I wasn't really impressed with her last win. She won, but she didn't finish the chick, and so it was like, I don't know how she's going to go from that match and then fight Ronda Rousey, who usually destroys her opponents. And Holly Holmes had a great fucking fight last night. She had a good plan, she stuck to it, and she fucking tore apart the champ of the world. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was. I kind of wish I'd seen it all, but I went to bed early because I'm old.
I'm one of the few who was rooting for Holly Holmes. Like, I like Ronda when she doesn't open her mouth. And like I enjoy her. She's a really good fighter, but like you said, you're not a real fighter until you lose. And so I'm waiting to see what she's gonna do now that she has a reason to fight. Like I've followed Holly when she was still in the kickboxing because that's what I was doing. So
Nice.
I enjoy her as a fighter. So I was rooting for her over Ronda because I've just followed her for longer, honestly. So I'm, like I said, I'm one of the few, and I know that I am, and that's fine. But I was excited to see her win. I was excited to see, and now I'm excited to see what Ronda's going to do.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I think it could be one of the best rematches in UFC history to see those two fight again. Because, of course, now Holly Holm knows she has to fight Ronda again, and she's going to go back to the gym with fucking Winklejohn and just keep getting better. So, another stand-up brawl between those two will be fucking epic. It's going to be some good stuff. And then I also had casting news, more martial arts badness. Mr. Scott Adkins, who some people know him from The Bourne Ultimatum, The Expendables 2. He was Von Dom's right-hand man. He's the guy who fought Jason Statham at the end of Expendables 2. He was in Zero Dark 30, The Legend of Hercules, and the new Ninja franchise. But most people, if you know him from comic films, know him as the stunt double for Ryan Reynolds in Wolverine Origins. So in that badass scene where weird as fuck looking Deadpool with his mouth covered up and his katana arms is jumping around and fighting Sabretooth and Wolverine, basically 98% of that was all Scott Adkins, because he actually does that shit in real life. The dude is a just amazing fight choreographer and martial artist, and he has been cast in Doctor Strange. The only thing is that he hasn't been cast as anything yet. There's no confirmation on which character he's playing. And I ended up reading the Slash Film had the best article I could find on it. And one of their theories, which I thought was kind of cool, was the idea that since we've got like Tilda Swinton is playing the Ancient One, so they've changed sexes of one character. We got Chiwetel Ejiofor is playing Baron Mordo, so we're changing the race of one character. The idea that Doctor Strange's confidant, right-hand man, and total badass, what is it, Wang?
Wong.
Wong might actually be played by Scott Adkins. And if that's true, I would fucking love it, because Scott Adkins would be awesome. And he actually has played two characters to be a different nationality before. He did a set of movies called Undisputed, where he plays a Russian martial artist. And it's really creepy to see this guy who just looks like the most standard white dude, but when he puts his tattoos on and they cut his hair a certain way and give him this weird mustache and goatee, and then he drops into his Russian accent, he becomes this very different character that's almost hard to recognize. So yeah, the idea that he might play Wong or just some other badass who's working either for Mads Mikkelsen or Baron Mordo, Chiwetel Ejiofor, like he could be the badass right hand man of any character in the movie, and it'll be impressive. But yeah, I'm super stoked to see that, because it guarantees that Doctor Strange might be, it's going to be Marvel's first expansion to actually show just a full mysticism film, where it's not going to be the excuse that it's advanced technology or anything. It will be magic. We're going to see somebody in that movie that can just go hand to hand and beat the fuck out of people and make it look really good on screen. So that was super exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with that one, I'll be honest.
Yeah, and the cast of Doctor Strange is looking crazy. Fucking Rachel McAdams, Tilda Swinton, Benedict Cumberbatch, Mads Mikkelsen, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Scott Adkins, Amy Landecker. Like, that movie's going to be fucking awesome.
I blame Naki for this now, but every time someone says Benedict Cumberbatch, I go, he looks like an otter.
He does look like an otter. He's the only thing that I don't like about that movie so far.
You don't like the lead role. That's problematic, Naki.
I don't.
Yeah, it can be.
I don't like Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't think he's that great of an actor.
Cumberbatch? Cumberbatch?
So I'm like, it's other like I honestly believe the guy from Game of Thrones who plays Littlefinger would have been a way better Doctor Strange, but that's me. So
he probably could have been okay. He would have done the egotistical surgeon part really well.
Yeah. See, so I like that's my fantasy casting. I think it'll be fine with Benedict Cumberbatch, but he's not my favorite actor in the world. So I understand. I know a lot of people who's like Sherlock is amazing, and I'm like Sherlock's an asshole.
You mean the operator in Wing and pretty much all of Legends podcast who love Sherlock?
And yeah, and he is an asshole, which part of Doctor Strange is he's an asshole. So I think that's probably a lot of why they wanted him.
I
still wanted Viggo Mortensen. I think Viggo Mortensen would have been a fantastic Doctor Strange.
History of violence.
Yeah. He's a
Lord of the
badass.
Rings.
What?
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he did some fantasy movies about walking.
Damn it! I said shut up, Chris.
I didn't say anything this time.
That's why it's funny.
It's his birthday. Don't tell him to shut up.
All right.
Shut your face hole, Naki.
He got an extra birthday shut up.
It's because I love. It's because I love. Do I tell Chris to shut up?
Oh, Boogity Boo is asking if our stream froze.
I don't know if it was on Alpha Geek or YouTube. We'll come back to that in a second. But we do want to talk about a couple of the fall TV shows we normally do. Did you guys see ratings are down a little bit for Supergirl?
I haven't watched any of it
I'm
yet.
part of the problem. I haven't watched last week's yet, but
I haven't watched any of it yet.
Yeah, I've seen the first two.
Episode.
I've been watching on ABC's website, or CBS, or wherever it is.
also, I guess they had the review copy sent out of Jessica Jones to folks, and a few people have read the first 7 episodes, or watched the first 7. They said it's very much a horror movie.
Good.
Horror movie feel to it.
Friday.
So I wasn't here last week when you guys were talking about Arrow, and I'm sure you guys already laid in things for me to talk about because Constantine was on it. But that was
We might have mentioned you.
I haven't watched this past week's Arrow yet, but and I'm sure those of you who are on Facebook with me know that Constantine has been the best thing about this season so far. And I went back and watched. I don't watch those episodes twice because, God, I can't watch episodes twice anymore. But I did watch the Arrow episode twice with Constantine because it was, to me, I was just like, oh, Matt Ryan, oh. And
that's how it was this week with the return of the original Black Canary. Seeing Katie
Sarah
Lutz
Lance.
jumping around, filling out an outfit. Hot damn.
So if you want to hear more about that episode of Arrow, make sure you go check out the Starling Tribune over at GonnaGeekNetwork.com, where Neil, SPA, and I dissect everything about that episode.
where basically they talk about boobs, is my guess.
I don't even think we talked about the boob window this week.
Talk about a missed opportunity.
Oh-ho!
I don't particularly. You guys already know how I feel about Arrow. I don't particularly even like the show. I kind of hate watch it at this point. I like everything about Arrow except Arrow himself. And I don't particularly care about Laurel or Sarah.
I don't like Laurel. I've gone on record multiple times of not liking Laurel.
Yeah, he has.
The reason I watched that show is for Felicity and Dig.
Diggle got a code name this week, though.
Did he finally get a code name?
He is officially
Hi,
Spartan.
Max, you're back.
And I will say, if you watch Arrow and you haven't seen last week's yet, do not watch the trailer for next week because it just spoils something right off the bat in the trailer. And I was like, you sons of bitches.
This week was good too. I like Happy Oliver. The new better attitude Green Arrow is so fucking cool.
I just don't like Oliver. I think that's just what my problem is I just don't like him. I don't care about him.
You preferred him when he just killed people randomly?
I don't give
indiscriminately?
I just don't care. I'm just like, shut up, Oliver. Just, every time he talks, that comes out of my mouth, where I'm like, just shut up, Oliver. It's just, I don't care. I think that's why I hate watch the show now, because their main character is someone that I don't care about. I don't care about Oliver. I don't care what happens to him. I didn't care about him in the first season, second season, or third season. I really don't care about him. I want to know more about Dig. I want to know more about Thea. I want to know more about Felicity. That's my thing. I get it. So give me the Flash. I'll watch that.
See, I was gonna say, if you want to care about someone, are you caught up on the Flash, and do we spoil that? Because holy shit, this week was fucking awesome. Zoom.
I'm all caught up on Flash. I did watch that one right away because I'm so into Flash, and I'm just not into Arrow at all. I just wanted to watch up to Arrow up till basically I watched it up until Constantine came in, and then I was like, okay, I'm good. That was my thought.
It was the only beating this week worse than Home versus Nebraska was Zoom beating Barry's fucking ass and taking him on a tour of the city to show everybody his beaten ass. That was amazing.
So it reminded me of an old comic issue when they had the Return of Barry Allen arc they did that was really Professor Zoom pretending to be Barry Allen, and when he just beats Wally's ass and drags him around town, showing everyone off the fact that he did it.
Really? I need to go read that issue then, because that fuck Zoom taking him around, showing the cops, showing the reporters, showing all of his friends. Look at this limp fucking sack of meat. I beat the shit out of him. Like, damn, that was an ass whooping.
Yeah. I need to watch this
So,
episode.
so who do you think Zoom
You guys
is?
just ruined it for Willie.
I don't care. I mean, that's the only episode I haven't seen.
Oops.
I'll see
You
it.
knew Zoom was coming, and you knew you couldn't beat him, so, yeah.
So
Barry gets his ass whooped.
as we wrap this up, conspiracy theory. Who do you all think Zoom is?
Candyman.
You think he's Barry?
Mm-hmm.
You think he's like alternate version Barry from
I
the other
thought that
world?
at first,
Yeah.
but now I think it's John Wesley's ship. They're gonna have old Flash. So look what they've already done in Earth 2.
Fucking perfect because that's why he had to leave.
Yeah.
Well,
Look,
so that he can play Doom.
look what they've done. Yeah, but seriously though, look at what they've done with Earth 2 already. If you noticed in Flash this week, they talked about on Earth 2 in Harrison Wells' flashback that the Hood was unmasked in Starling City and was Robert Queen, not Oliver Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
So
that.
let's continue this path of the father being the main character and have it be that Henry Allen, John Wesley's ship, is Zoom.
That would be fucking awesome.
Plus, there's also the fact that everyone's like, "Oh, he's the Flash from the '90s show too," and I'd be like, "This is great."
Yeah, then he would actually be the Flash again. If they fucking do that, I will love Mark Berlanti till the day I die. Because that would be fucking amazing.
I'm telling you guys, it might happen.
Now, since we're talking about Flash, I've mentioned it to two of you already. Something about the Flash just kind of bugs. A little plot hole. Everyone hates the Earth 2 Harrison Wells.
Well,
They
it's 'cause
already
he's a
know.
dick.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, he is a dick. I'll give you that.
But that's not why they hate him.
Yeah, I mean, they hate him because the previous Harrison Wells, but he wasn't Harrison Wells. It was Reverse Flash coming back. He killed the Harrison Wells of Earth 1 and took him over, what, 20 years ago?
Yeah, I
15.
understand that, but it's more of that's what they know the difference. But logically, he was still Wells to them, even though he wasn't really. So they still associate all that shit with him.
Yeah, when I was talking to Willie about it, that's what I was saying, is that intellectually they know that the person that they knew as Harrison Wells didn't betray them, that it was Eobard Thawne. But they still see that face, and like for Cisco and Daniel Panabaker's character, like they worked with Harrison Wells for years, and then had him betray them. Barry, it was just a couple of months. But still, yeah, it's seeing the face of that person that betrayed you, even if that really isn't the person you thought it was, like you're still going to feel that way every time you see that person. So yeah, intellectually they know Harrison Wells didn't betray them, and then it was Eobard Thawne. But when they see that fucking face of his, they just want to punch it.
I don't blame him. I'd kind of want to punch him too. But I mean, I'm agree. I like Willie. I understand what you're saying because like I had that feels too, but like at the same time, like I kind of get it because it's like yeah, you had to be. They were next to that man for so long, and they stood by him for so long, and then. Oh,
and they didn't really
Cisco's heart.
They didn't really find out that he was Eobard until like the very end. They were just like, Wells is the Reverse Flash. Oh my god! So from their standpoint, they know up here that it wasn't Wells, but they know here that Wells betrayed them. So that sticks with them.
It's still the face. It's the same face, and it's. I don't know if that's like the same. If you would have that problem, like say if you were like say you were dating like a twin of somebody, of identical twin of somebody, and then that person cheated on you, and then you were still friends with the other twin. Like, wouldn't that still kind of fuck with you a little?
You would hate both their faces because it would still be that face. and I love it too. It gives Kavanaugh such a great character to play. So I love the way he's playing fucking kind of asshole Harrison Wells from Earth 2. Like, he's got to be having a blast at this point because he doesn't have to be nice, and he's not stuck in a fucking wheelchair anymore either. He gets to actually walk around on set.
Don't forget, did you just vibe me?
Did you just vibe me? Don't you fucking touch me.
Is it bad I still think of him as JD's brother from Scrubs?
No, because I do too.
Okay. Hey, little brother. Like, I always think of that, and I'm just like, just say it. Just say it once, please. Just say it.
It's just a little tiny thing. It's not like it's bothering me all that much. It's an idea.
Well, so they released the some photos for this upcoming episode. If you watch the preview, no Gorilla Grodd comes back next week, and one of them is Harry wearing the Reverse Flash costume, presumably so he can go and tell his son to stop. Because remember, Grodd thought of Wells as his father. But I was just like, oh, that's really cool to see Wells back in the Reverse Flash costume, even though he has no powers.
How did he get the costume? Didn't the costume disappear when
they probably just made one?
Vaughn disappeared?
Or there could have been other stuff there. I don't know. It's all time theory and
Apparently
stuff.
Cisco spends a lot of time sewing up costumes.
It could be.
This shit's not free, you know.
It's not. So let's start wrapping up the show. We'll do that in our traditional way by sharing with you, the audience, what we've been into, what we're planning on getting into. As you can hear, it's been Arrow and Flash so far. But some other stuff, let me go first real quick. I've been playing Halo 5 still because I'm a hopeless addict. I also got a new Xbox One controller, which was one of the Halo variant ones. And here's where it's different, other than the paint job. They put force feedback under the triggers now, which is really cool because when you go and reload your gun in Halo, like it makes the different triggers shake at different vibration levels and stuff as he's inserting the new clip and things. So I was like, that's awesome!
Nice.
It was a fun experience. Also, I watched on my day off on Wednesday, Wet Hot American Summer, and then started Wet Hot American Summer first day of camp on Netflix. It's really weird, but I'm strangely enjoying it. And I love how they just the sequel that's on Netflix is actually a prequel, and they just ignore the fact that everyone's 15 years older. they just play it off. Other than one little aside for it, where I'll save it for you guys if you watch the show, but it's really well executed. How they just kind of acknowledge how these age changes happen, and they were like, meh. Okay, I don't feel bad now. I see in the chat room SP ordered both Halo colored controllers. I only got one.
Oh, those crazy astronauts.
Crazy. He's the director of SNASA. Don't forget, guys. Secret NASA. Him and Barney Stinson, they work together. And the other thing I've been working on, you guys might have heard, is I started another podcast that's a solo show that will occasionally have some guests on. That's called Nerd Alert News. I put out 2 episodes last week, and I'm still working on that because fun little side projects. But that's what I've been getting into. Willie D. Nelson, what have you been getting into, sir?
Thank you for specifying the D. Don't want to get confused, with anyone famous. It's just me. But I know what I said last week, but I kind of continued to play some Call of Duty.
Uh-oh.
It's actually pretty fun.
Did you convert?
Call of Duty fanboy.
I wouldn't say a fanboy, but it's fun. It's something I play. I mean, that's pretty much all I really have right now since all my other stuff was kind of gone. But what comes up Tuesday? What comes out Tuesday? Bachman?
Battlefront?
There you go.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So we'll probably be going to picking up my copy of Battlefront Monday night at midnight, or I guess technically Tuesday. And I'll be playing I took off Tuesday and Wednesday, be playing all those days. It's going to be so much fun. And also, since I didn't get the Battlefront bundle, I think I will be getting the standalone Darth Vader controller that they're making available for purchase separately.
I did see that. It looks really cool.
I'll probably be picking that up some point in time.
Oh, so the other thing I meant to say I did is I updated my Xbox to the new Xbox OS built on Windows 10. Now I need to update one of my machines in the house to Windows 10 so I can play Xbox games on my computer. Just because.
Boyfriend hates the new OS on his Xbox.
It's faster, at least. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, and I haven't tried much, and it broke Twitch streaming for me, actually.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, I don't really Twitch stream that much, so it's okay. But
Yes,
that
you
broke.
do. I get your notifications on YouTube. I follow you.
Don't follow my YouTube. Follow youtube.com/Gonna Geek. That's what you should
Also,
follow.
yes.
Can we do that? Can we do both?
You can do both.
Why not both? Why not both?
So, Naki, what have you been getting into?
First off, I apologize for randomly screaming Max. My dog just decided to chew the heating pad that's in my bed, and that's connected to an outlet, and then he zapped himself because he's a dumbass who's chewing on electrical wires.
Oops.
So that then started him farting again, so that was fun.
He's alive!
As for things I'm getting into, I've been playing the shit out of Undertale, which is on Steam. I want to say it's $10. It's worth every single fucking penny. The game is hilarious. It's sad. It's wonderful. Like it's so you're a little boy who falls into a hole full of monsters, and you get to choose. You can either fight the monsters and become a badass, but you're also known as evil, or you could talk to the monsters and you'll eventually like become their friend, and they, follow you around, that sort of thing. And I'm past the first boss battle, and now I'm in the forest to get out of the hole. And I made friends with a skeleton named Sans and his brother Papyrus. Yes, they are font jokes in this game. It's amazing.
Wow.
This game's amazing, and it's pretty low res. Like it's a 16-bit game, so you really don't have to have like, supercomputer or anything like that. It's so much fun. I've been peddling this off to everybody. Like I so suggest it. It's a lot of fun. Other than that, I've been watching the shit out of the Game Grumps lately on YouTube. They recently I guess it was recently. They started playing Mario Maker, and they're 30 episodes in, and just listening to these two rage out playing other people's levels is amazing. So, it's Danny Sexbang and Ego Raptor, and they're awesome. So I recommend it. I started watching them because of Markiplier. Again, another gaming channel that I watch fairly regularly. And Markiplier is doing random things these days. He hasn't been set on a game. I think he said he's going to come back to Undertale, which I want to get further than him before he, spoils that for me. Other than that, I have been, here, there, everywhere, building the Elsa costume. I don't know if you guys have seen it on Instagram, because that's basically the social media I continually update, but this morning I was spray painting shoes, and that's why I was slap happy, because I got a little spray paint happy, and the high is wearing off now. I apologize. And so I was spray painting my shoes, and there will be glam punk Elsa will be a thing soon in the near future, and working out as usual. So that's all I got.
All right then. How about you, Bachman? What do you got for us?
No comics this week because it was not payday. I've been doing a slight workout, which was kind of nice. Tuesday, I moved all my weights and stuff into the garage. Thursday, I did an actual workout, went through a couple of circuits, but it was really nice to not be doing the Captain America workout. So I kind of feel like a slacker, but I totally feel like I deserve it as well. So next week will be the first full week back to working out. I'm only doing 3 days a week now, just kind of working to maintain and then keep the weight down. But yeah, I'm not going crazy again for a while. I got a little bit before next Halloween, so at this point, yeah, it's just keeping myself in the shape I'm in and not letting it all come back and not putting the gut back on with beer. So yeah, I bought.
So good.
Yeah, I've had a 12-pack since Halloween, so not
That's
quite
not
a beer
bad.
a day. But yeah, I bought a 12-pack just to kind of celebrate last weekend. Went and ran around, visited a bunch of family yesterday. I've been working on finishing Inktober because I'm slow and all that Halloween shit kind of got in the way. I've done 29 of the 31, and I'm actually going to hopefully finish today the last two, which I believe Michelle Flam will be happy for, because number 30 will be me finishing HK51, and 31 will be Darth Talon. Both are pretty much drawn out. They just need to be inked. So once those are both done, I'll send both of those to Michelle, because those I'm doing per her request.
Nice.
And then just getting stoked for next week, because yeah, my PS4 Darth Vader edition with Battlefront is set to arrive on Tuesday. So hopefully Tuesday night I'll have all that set up. And then I'm taking Friday off from work so that I can binge watch Jessica Jones. And so next weekend will basically just be Jessica Jones and PS4 and fucking me being a lazy bastard sitting on my ass. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
Oh, as a little caveat, if you want to play with me on Battlefront Tuesday, Wednesday, add me on the PlayStation Network, Willie D. Nelson. That simple.
I'm providing the boobs and clam right now.
There you go.
Oddly
A little
turned on.
creepy.
So you might
Is
need to
it-
describe that for our audio listeners.
For those of you who are listening via the audio podcast, I'm providing the boobs and clam with a very hot bikini model, also known as Nicolas Cage.
This is a pretty hot picture. It's just a little creepy.
You just gotta go neck down. Just hold your hand up about like
Hey,
that. Like,
that's
"Ah."
good. Oh,
No,
that's better.
no. Take it all in. I'm still.
I mean,
I'm still good.
he's got the sexy eyes going and everything in this.
Yeah. That Mona Lisa smile.
I don't even know where to go from here. I'll be
Are
honest.
you completely scare roused right now? You
Little
should
bit.
be scare
Are
roused.
we
Little
talking? Does anyone have a fear boner right now?
Not
I
quite.
wouldn't call it a fear boner, but you're half right.
Sorry, that was a reference to the League. If you don't watch it, you should really watch it because it's hilarious. There's a whole
Yes, you
song
should.
about fear boners.
Oh, and as Willie mentioned too, I don't have my PlayStation yet, but when I fire it back up, I will be Bach 2099 again. So BACH 2099 on the PlayStation Network.
I think I still need to add you.
If you want to follow me on Steam, I am Niki, Naki, Knick-Knack Naki. And then on Xbox, I am Bakanaki, so Bakanaki.
And the PlayStation?
I don't have PlayStation.
Boo, Naki.
One day. I actually want one, not just because of Until Dawn, but there's a few other games that I'm debating, so it'll happen one day, I'm sure.
And so I don't feel left out on Steam and Xbox Live, Spidey616.
You bastard. I also want to steal your gamer tag.
My gamer tag is awesome.
I know. That's why I want it.
I have been an Xbox Live member for like 9 years. That's how I was able to get it
Yeah.
so easily.
Same here with Bakanaki, but not that anybody was ever... Actually, somebody has stolen my fucking gamer tag. Like,
Somebody poached my gamer tag on PSN. I was upset, so I couldn't be Spidey616 there when I had a
Yeah.
PlayStation.
I am not the only Bakanaki out there, so that's where Knick-Knack Naki came in. So it's like,
That is a little weird.
like, Baka means stupid. So, I mean, I called myself Stupid Naki because I'm self-depressed. Yeah, you know what I mean. Self-deprecating. And
Self-deprecating?
thank you. And so, I mean, that was the joke, but
All right, so we should
Thanks.
probably start wrapping up the show, though. And real quick before we do that, I want to let you guys know where you can find the show. Head on over to atgnpodcast.com for the entire back catalog. You can find us on Twitter at atgnpodcast or on Facebook at facebook.com/allthingsgoodandnerdy. You can send feedback via email directly to atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com. And finally, there's one other way to get a hold of us. Give us a call on the ATGN hotline. That's at 304-806-ATGN. Yeah, we're everywhere. And in our quest to be everywhere, every Sunday you can find us live in multiple places on the internet. We're live at 11 a.m. over at live.atgnpodcast.com, over on Gonna Geek's live page at geeks.live. Literally, geeks.live. Put that in your address bar, you'll get there. And we're also available on Channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio and Alpha Geek Video apps. Just head on over to alphageekradio.com and you can find us there. That's all we are for now. We'll find other places to
you
spread.
could-
We're like a virus.
you
Damn
can
right.
download us if you want to just listen to us audio. I know we're on Stitcher and Podbay and Podbean and
iTunes.
iTunes
say.
and did Google Play launch
Google Play
yet?
podcasts have not gone live yet. They're just collecting them for when they are ready to go live. We will be available on Google Play podcasts when that comes out.
We'll
and I
be
do
there
want to say,
soon.
if you have a chance, head on over to iTunes, give us a 5-star review, or at least a review. It helps us out if we get reviews, so that would be great.
Yeah, stop talking shit about me. I'd really appreciate it.
This is what I do, Naki. I talk shit.
Well,
God damn it, Chris.
Oh,
All
shit,
the
you did
reviews
listen
are
last
Chris
week.
talking shit about Naki.
They are. Oh, and SP brings up in the chat room also, we are available on TuneInRadio.com. Head on over to TuneIn.
Stop opening the door,
Com, and
Max.
you'll be able to find us there. We're everywhere. So, as we sign off, does anyone have any great parting shots for us?
My dog just farted as he walked in.
That's
can't
because he loves you.
The pepperoni
Apparently.
farts are awful. These are
But if you also want to follow or be a friend to my guest account I have for the PlayStation, you can follow him at the Virginator.
The Virginator.
The Virginator.
Oh, and congratulations to Friday the 13th, the game, because it got funded.
Yes, Friday.
So we will be playing Jason Voorhees and Camp Counselors sometime next summer. And fuck terrorists in Paris for ruining Friday the 13th.
Well, on that note, I think it's time we start getting out of here. So, thanks everyone who tuned in live, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Off Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGNpodcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com. And damn it, I just realized I have to re-record the voiceover for the outro since we're at geeks.live in addition to gonnageek.com/live.
Ha ha! Take that, birthday boy!
Don't worry, I'll forget for like 3 weeks, so it's no big deal.
Oh well.
For anyone watching live, we're going to sign off now. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye!